taught these techniques to begin with. This system covers a wide range of weapons, going all the way down from unarmed through daggers, swords, and larger two-handed weapons, including poleaxes and spears and various other larger two-handed weapons. But we've chosen the longsword as the primary weapon to demonstrate because it is the main teaching weapon of the system. All of the techniques that are learned with this can be scaled in both directions, to the smallest weapons and all the way up to the largest as well. Now, before I begin, who can tell me what is the #1 goal in a sword fight? Does anybody know?
Not die.
Get the other person? Not die, thank you. Perfect, that's the answer we want. The #1 rule. Yes, the #1 rule is do not get stabbed. Do not die. Because if I kill him, but he kills me at the same time, then I really have not won, have I? So we need to do everything in such a way that we keep ourselves safe at all times. Our attacks are designed to also defend simultaneously. So we'll start with some of the very basic attacks in the system, and these are things that we'll want you to look for when we get to the actual fight. The first is going to be a position that we refer to as vom Tag. In medieval German, this means from the roof, and it is called this because the sword is, well, pointed at the sky. There are two versions of this, lower on the shoulder or up above the head. We call it the same thing because the sword is mainly in the same position. Now, from this position, we can launch all of the attacks in our system, but there's one attack that is particularly the fastest that we can do, and this is called the Zornhau, which means the strike of wrath. This is a simple straight line attack straight down the center to the chest or the face. But how do we also defend from this simultaneously? Well, it turns out we just simply do another Zornhau. If he does one at me, I can take the advantage right away, and all I had to do was step that way. The body positioning of that and moving my hands towards the center a little bit allows me to maintain the advantage here. Now let's say Sir Brian stands in this position a little longer. He's staying in vom Tag and I just want to attack this. I don't want to attack over here, that would be pointless. His sword is there. Generally speaking, the sword will only protect about 1/4 of your body at any given time. So instead I need to attack to this side, but I need to keep myself safe so I don't die. Basically, we're going to do an attack that is called the Zwerkau, which means the crosswise strike. It is a horizontal strike from above, works equally well on both sides. If I attack to the side of his head, the natural thing for him to do is simply come forward, but my crossguard is going to catch it and keep me safe. So this is how we want to attack him. Now, if he's in a different position, we'll have to do something a little different. Sir Brian has gotten into a position that we call Flug, which in the medieval German means plow. Think of like the handles on a plow in a field. This is protecting the lower portion of his body. So I need to attack here in a way that is also going to keep me safe. So I'm going to do an attack that we call the Schielhau, which means the squinting strike. It will look just like the Zornhau we showed a minute ago, where I'm attacking into the center, except the problem is here, because his sword is on that side, if I wanted to defend myself, my wrist is going to be very bent, I have no strength here. So we're going to do something that looks a little counterintuitive. We're going to simply roll the sword in our hand and brace it with the thumb. This is simple body mechanics. I come in, I have all the strength I need with just one hand. I don't even need my second hand on this. So now Sir Brian will get into another position that we call ox. In medieval German, this simply means ox. Who would have thought? Now, we're going to do an attack that we call the Krumpfau, which means the crooked strike. It's like a windshield wiper sort of motion, but angled forward. We're attacking with either the front edge or the back edge of the sword, depending on which side we're on. In this case, I will attack to this side, and I can strike him in the head, or the arm, or the shoulder, whatever happens to be in reach. But if he's just a little too far away, I will attack his sword instead and follow with a second move of the same attack. It'll look like this. Just that quickly, you can deflect his sword downward, follow through with a second attack, and hit him just as easily. Now, there are some situations where maybe you don't want to kill your opponent. Maybe somebody's just drunk and he's attacked you and you want to be nice to him, or maybe he's your lord and you'd get in a lot of trouble. Or maybe he's just somebody very important and he's worth more to you alive than dead for the ransom money.
I'm rich!
Yeah. All right, so in a situation like this, let's say we both attacked. We didn't expect the other guy to do just that, so we met in the middle. Nobody has the advantage. This is not like the movies. We don't sit here and push and push and push. Either one of us is going to have to do something. In the instant that our blades make contact, we have to make a decision. Now here I've decided I don't want to kill him. I'm going to grab the middle of the sword, which is actually fairly safe to do because the swords are generally only sharp in the last third of the blade. From here I can use the leverage to wrench the sword out of his hand. I point the sword at him so he doesn't run onto me. Ah! Just like that, unless he's really stupid. So
I'm rich and stupid.
You're a
we'll
politician.
just show him one. I think. All right, so now let's say I actually do want to kill him, and we're in exactly the same situation. We met in the middle. Neither person has taken the advantage. I need to use my leverage. This is what we refer to as the weak part of the blade because it is far from your hands. This is the strong part of the blade because it is close to your hands. I need his weak on my strong. All I did was lift my hands up, and the leverage shifts in my favor. I can stab him all I want, and he really can't push against me very hard at all. So these are the sorts of moves that you're going to see during our fight. Keep your eyes open for them. Unless we get really sloppy, then you might not see much of it at all. So we'll see how
Look that way.
With that, I think you're gonna talk, or we're gonna proceed? Okay.
So, we're going to be starting the duel in just a moment. As Sir Edward covered, the idea of a fight is to walk away. So in the event that they actually hit each other, then we're going to call it as a no score because basically neither one of them has won. While they are wearing a little bit of safety equipment, any blows that do strike that safety equipment will be considered a regular counted blow. It's just a safety aspect. We'll be going to a score of 3, so the first one to get to 3 will win. After they finish their unarmored duel, stick around with us. Nathan and I are going to demonstrate a few of the unarmored techniques, and then we're going to fight in armor as well, which will be completely different from what you see here with the unarmored techniques. So, Sir Edward, are you ready? I'm ready. Sir Brian.
Good gentles, we'll begin our duel momentarily. First, a cautionary word.